This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to 8 Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on 8 Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/8squador.
All right, we're gonna head in with the first pug. I'm Sonsoyo, and everyone, welcome to the amazing first Thursday Night Throwdown. And right now we have S0E1, Viper, and Calcifer versus Andrewstown, Brendy, and Onyx Grave. This is gonna be a great matchup. It's just a matter of what they're gonna be playing here to see how this matchup will go. I assume they're going to go with an HML versus maybe a double medium heavy or HML versus HML. So we're going to be going into Fortune Stadium here as we get to see Onyx, Graves, Brendy, and Andrewstown rotate on this high ground. Calcifer does get an interesting heads up on this lead as Calcifer getting some good poke damage, but gets taken out easily. Brendy and Graves low though, as this fight breaks out initially. Right drops the dome as Andrewstown is pumping down some damage. Brendy looking for some aggressive off angles. Vipers gets that kill, but will they be able to clean up Andrewstown here, getting a great reset on Brendy. Graves gets taken out. It's such a close fight here. They're going to push aggressively into this building and look to get the final kill on Brendy. And as Viper and Brendy gets taken out quickly there, but it's not going to be it's going to be an interesting push here because we have Orange Team able to take advantage of this hospital point. As S0E1 gets the revive on Calcifer, they're going to all rotate in across this gap and have the ability to set up. This isn't a tough point to push. However, there are definitely plenty of opportunities here for Pink Team to break into this. As we go in, Andrewstown gets taken out quickly. His team is following up far behind him. S0E1 getting some great damage on that Cerberus. Such a powerful weapon as he does get taken out. Brendy gonna get RPG'd as Viper cleans that kill up. Graves looking to get that reset. Stops Viper from rezzing, and Andrewstown is gonna hit that res, but Viper pushes aggressively here, pushing on that mesh shield. It looks like Andrewstown is gonna get just cleaned up so easily. There's no reason to run. He's just only delaying the inevitable. But he just looked to hide. Somehow he does get out of this situation, hopefully buying enough time for his team to coin in and rotate across. Andrewstown rotating aggressively out there. Both teams just gonna wait for this reset. Here comes S0E1 with that Cerberus rotating in. Dematting, gonna take some back shots here from Pink Team, shooting across the gap. They're gonna set up a similar aggressive push here on this base check. Graves gonna jump in with the demat play on the side. Looks for a big RPG, but he misses the opportunity as they fight. Andrewstown and Calcifer fight head on head there, and Pink Team is gonna be taken out, it seems, with this 3v2 opportunity here. Brendy gets a clutch kill, but it's just him. He's gonna have to make some magic work. And unfortunately for them, Pink Team loses that first cash out. What's this teabagging over here I see? S0E1, Viper, and Calcifer take Vault 1.
Our first cash out goes to the Boundless. Let's see whether they can keep that momentum going.
Right now we're just jockeying for position here. S0E1 hitting that Season 1 emote, but we get Pink Team spawning, pushing aggressively. But Andrewstown is so split from their team here. He's gonna have to take a back flank. He's got to go for that zip to get some pressure on them if his team wants to collapse. We're getting some revives here with Brendy getting brought back up, but this team is so split. Both teams fighting, and it looks like it's just Viper left. He's just going to jump off the edge. This vault's not tapped, so that's going to be a very good play because whenever you jump off the map with the vault not tapped, you're gonna have enough time to spawn back in before it truly gets opened up. This gateway, however, is going to allow them to move this point rather quickly as Brendy jumps and goes to play towards C. Orange team does spawn at that hospital location. They do have a ways to go. The pink team will likely get this plug before they even get contested. They go for A instead of C, which is actually a better option. That's my bad. I did not see how close that was. Brendy looking for some early picks here, using that invis to his advantage to get some good intel, as Signal and him take a head-on fight as they back away from each other, not willing to take that fight. Viper goes in, gets a big RPG on Brendy, and tries to chase him down, but as a light, he's not going to be able to do much there. Honest Graves dematting in, trying to peel for Brendy, but gets picked off herself, and now they're going to force point. They got a great C4 drop on that, stalling it a little bit. They're going to need to find some value here. Andrews kind of takes a clean 1v1 against Viper. Viper just backing away. Signal gritting a great peel for him as Viper gets taken out. It's just Signal and Calcifer fighting against Andrewstown and Brendy. They're going to get the spawn quicker. Graves should be coining in relatively soon as Viper gets defibbed back up. Both teams going to be reset here. Viper getting some big damage. Pink team still has this. They just need to play for stall here. As Orange team gets wiped, it looks like Pink is gonna have a great opportunity to win this cash. Orange team just spawning in. They get a terrible spawn all the way across the map, and they have to go across that gap, divert off to that jump pad, wasting even more time here. As they're going to take a head-on fight with Onyx. Graves is going to get caught off guard potentially here, but plays Assassin's Creed and sneaks behind the corner. He got circled from the back. Graves is crazy, playing some stealth game over here. Looking for that RPG. Viper gets closed demat, pulling off that goo just in time.
For our cash-hungry teams.
Now Andrewstown gets that res on Graves. It's a 2v2. This fight's not going to be much. This could put some advantage into the next vault fight, but it's not going to do much to win anything. Viper biding his time right behind this goo, trying to get his regen. That heavy regen is so long these days, it feels like. Brendy getting picked off quickly with Integrity. I think Integrity's using that ARN, using that range to its advantage here against the MP5. Signal's gonna get that tap as they hunt down Andrewstown. Andrewstown just buying as much time. I'm not sure why he hasn't just jumped off the map quite yet. Onyx Grave does coin in. Gonna look for a gateway play, get a quick plug here as Pink Team still resets. Signal lingering behind, looking for anyone, but might get split himself here, padding over. Still waiting for that res on Brendy, or res on Andrewstown. Andrewstown has 3 coins. He could have coined in here. Save his team a little bit of time. Going for some pokes, watching how they rotate. They're going to take this Holtos building and rotate over this big pad to Orange Team. They're going to have to do something to stop this ARN from poking. They do make it safely over. They're going to be playing from this bottom, trying to surgically remove this cash out. Signal and Viper taking the high ground as their light. Calcifer is going to be taking some weird off angles here. Onyx just sneaking. Definitely knows where Viper is. It's going to look to drop him, but fails to drop him. But he jumps off the map instead. He's doing the work for her. Integrity on a clean head glitch here. Jumps off the map himself And now it's just Signal camping in the corner of the map, gets the revive on Viper, but they're still in a 2v3 scenario with the Vault not in their favor. Signal getting that last res. This is some spaghetti, folks. We have 2 people jumping off maps, and now Painting getting the high ground as Viper goes down and looks for some sort of play without his team. Anderstown getting pushed in aggressively. They do have this dome. Brendy's gonna need to hit a big glitch here to get anything done as they just go in willy-nilly and get the steal. Orange team takes the victory. That was some spaghetti. And that is the first match of Thursday Night Throwdown. And we got our second Kathy or Satan. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm happy to be here, man.
We just finished the first match. We're gonna be looking for the other match, and that was a great match. I think we already have another queue that's been popped. So we're going to be tuning into that one, Q 387. And as we look at the stat line, Orange team getting some clean 7s across the board. We do see some of that lacking on Pink team, but they did play some great objective and have some great fights that mattered.
It's really all about who plugs first and who gets to set up on defense first, right?
Exactly. And it looks like we're going to be going in with another HML. Meowfum, our resident sledge today, with Viper playing light MP5. Signal still staying to that super OP weapon, the Cerberus. I don't blame him, though, because that thing shreds heavies, mediums, and lights.
It's always so fun looking at these top-tier players just flex on different class types and trying to work with different teams on these pickup games here. It's really exciting to see how they adapt to one another.
Exactly, and it's going to be HML versus HML going into this first match, with Vault 1 spawning on Church, A and B, both being relatively close by.
There's lots of sun here today and good visibility.
We're going to have Viper's team taking an aggressive high ground on this point. Here.
Looks like Viper's team takes Church first. Viper on the high ground, demanding positioning right here.
Getting some initial shots.
This ARN is so good at these ranges.
I think the ARN is definitely slept on right now. People are going back and forth on whether or not it's actually so good. There's certain ranges where it's just completely outguns the MP5.
And again, I'm not... Let's say 12 going crazy right now.
Outranged, and Pepe Mirazari just taking some names there with Sloth backing him up.
As we were saying, the ARN can be really well on this map because of the high ground positions on these roofs and the rooftops, especially on Church as well. ARN really shines at ranges.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few maps where ARN definitely diffs the MP5 as being one of the stronger weapons. Because you have a lot of these head glitch fights, you can get a lot of value off of that. And we're going to be going towards this B point. And Calcifer going to be taking this crane, using the ARN to his advantage, getting some easy first shots off on Signal, getting not much damage, but some chip damage nonetheless. Meowfum chasing, looking for any sort of value here on this winch. Chasing into this building, looking for some value. Using that sledge to break in, enter. Creates as much chaos as he can. He does drop them down with that sledge, and he's going to be going aggressively. That dome shield will not do anything away from that sledge, as he misses the winch and gets one big hit on
massive hit with the massive hit with that sledgehammer right there.
And it looks like this is going to be Orange's team's opportunity to get
Orange is going to bait the point at the moment, but they do get the drop with the pad stall. But they will try to re-engage here. Really good cap by Orange here.
Pink team resetting, just waiting for those coins to pop. They're going to have one last opportunity at this point. They're going to have to do some sort of last-second steal, forcing the point potentially if this orange team plays properly. They're just going to be waiting and waiting. But Circle putting himself out there with that Cerberus, taking some unnecessary damage, putting his team highly at risk.
Pink has to be really aggressive. The time is ticking. They don't have much time. We'll see how this unfolds on this first cash out.
Those Pyromans doing some work here, denying some space on this cash out as this alleyway fight breaks out. Both teams getting, the heavies getting a trade. Orange team does inevitably win that fight, though, getting cash out B.
Really well done by Orange. Being able to come in, knock out the heavy with that sledgehammer, big sledgehammer hits, and they were able to capitalize on that first point because of that.
And the winch buffs this season only help that hammer. Extra range, more stun, and removing that SA-12 pump cancel makes Sledge and Winch the ultimate force with that specialization.
Sledge is just crazy against heavies, man.
People are doing great work with the sledgehammer. People kind of don't respect it, and that's the biggest issue I see. When you have people actually taking Sledge seriously during these Pro Hubs and other tournaments, this is just making some big deal. Look at Sloth.
Ooh, big hit.
Playing some stealth Sledge gameplay.
He does get taken out, unfortunately. Orange looking like they're turning things around
easily, and Integrity looking for some sort of trade here. He's gonna be playing aggressively because he needs to do something. He needs to wipe, get some kills, or look for that reset. Starting me off, I'm looking for that regen as Integrity vies for position. He's gonna be
Orange
going.
will get the plug as well. It's looking like.
Looks like Pink team spawned right under the camera, moving in a split from Calcifer. They're going to be playing this from a pincer kind of formation. Sturgill playing flashbangs, denying Calcifer from seeing both lights playing at such far ranges here. As everyone rotates over onto this A building. Meowthumb making a aggressive
very sneaky play,
which is so risky.
That was fun to watch.
Pink team forcing this point, knowing it's a 2v2. They're going to be bringing everyone in to this point as they do get that steal on that courtyard. This could be a bad play. Circle playing aggressively. He does have the better weapon here, but he does have the damage disadvantage on that play. And now Meowthumb gets taken out by Calcifer. This team is just playing way too split here. And it's just Viper on holding on for dear life and gets taken out by Calcifer.
Yeah, Meowthumb going crazy on the church play over there. Sneaking on that light, didn't really work out. And it kind of cost the team because they were split at the end.
This C4 setup is a pretty smart setup, breaking that wall so you can push aggressively from that one side. They're going to be playing on this roof. Hopefully they just show presence immediately and then drop down, because with these weapons, with this amount of time, you just want to play stall.
Exactly. Not much time left. All they have to do is play patiently and just knock out. Orange going for the steal. And they do get the flip. They get the flip.
But they will the immediate steal back.
Reflip, and it does not work out. Incredible play by Orange. That was amazing flip at the end right there. Last second steal.
Meowthumb playing some stealth plays with that sledgehammer this past game. I don't know. To me, it looked troll, but somehow it worked out. I mean, his whole team was focused on the rotation of the medium and light as Meowthumb just walked in, winched it over, and got the free steal.
They were not ready for the troll.
They were not ready for that. I don't know what happened there. That was wild.
That was fun.
And on the kills front, it's a pretty even game. I mean, obviously, kills don't mean everything. We do see Orange team getting a slight advantage in that kills, but at the end of the day, objective does mean the most. Obviously, people definitely call out Seoul as like the biggest map needing a rework, but in terms of optimization, Las Vegas low-key like kind of wasn't that optimized and had a lot of bugs. We're going with a triple medium on Graves, Hashi, and Brendy, and we're going to be going heavy, medium, light. All right, Cafaneo playing that medium class. I haven't seen Cafaneo on medium yet, so.
Very unexpected triple medium pick here.
I definitely have never seen Uni on medium or heavy, and definitely probably would not like it.
That's the nature of these pickup games. You never know what you're going to get, right?
Exactly.
These teams having to adapt.
They're all playing DMAT, no heals. They're going to be playing a lot of flanks, hopefully going to be able to flank as a team and then be able to converge aggressively. Onyx on that from Moss, looking for some damage, but gets picked off quickly. Brendy playing model?
Brendy with the model.
Maybe on that serve.
Double shotty?
I think the double shotty is the right play. Uni looking to get this point gateway. This could be a little bit of a bait here.
Yeah, that serve is going to be really good against that heavy.
Yeah, especially with that model getting that chunk damage. Brendy, there is a little bit of a tech that you can do to get that pump melee in. Brendy getting
destroyed
by Uni. Ashi following up. Anderstown dropping down with that shack. He's fighting aggressively. Onyx goes in. Wasted RPG, but Brendy at 1 HP, running away for his life. Graves also needs to look for a reset here.
Brendy having to live right here. It will be detrimental if he dies. A lot of time wasted. Going in for the re-engage.
Brendy leading the charge here as Uni dashes away barely. Looking for a big fight here. Anderstown throws down that dome, saving himself and allowing him to get out. Uni putting down that vortex, denying space. They should get this revive and then force point. Uni's at 1 HP and Anderstown still is not up.
Trying to bait the steal, see what happens here.
Brendy getting shot as Anderstown comes around for the flank. They need a pick here to get any sort of ground and any stability for them. Brendy looking to bait the steal yet again, doing up every inch of this room. Uni still has a way to
They get the flip.
But they do get the flip.
Anderstown going for it. It's looking like they will get it as well.
Fantastic steal by the live wires.
And Hashi just fighting for his life here. There's not much he can do in this situation. And
well done by Pink. They were able to kite their, disadvantage. They were down Cafaneo like most of that fight at the end right there. And they were still able to hold off with just 2 of their teammates up.
There was a few pivotal moments where Orange just needed to push their offense or steal as a team so they can guarantee 1 more pick. They just needed to make the play together, whether or not to go aggressively or force that point on defense. They just chose different options at different times.
I think they should have forced the point together. That would have forced them to come in.
Yep.
And, they would have, did some team damage and killed somebody on Pink. But unfortunately, that's just not how things went. Let's see how this next point plays out.
Stopping the gateway play. How will Pink respond to this? They're going to be looking aggressively towards this rotation on Orange, as Orange is going to be looking towards C. Uni's there to cut them off, looking for an aggressive front angle. Getting it on the other side of him. What a smart play, getting some chip damage, but Uni almost gets taken out at 1 HP. This seems like a narrative we are used to seeing Uni escaping with the skin of his teeth.
Looking like Orange is going to plug.
As we see this rotate, Uni still playing super aggressively on this. Getting behind them.
Big red barrel.
The Boundless are making moves.
Orange does get the plug though.
barrel utilization is so vital sometimes. Looking like they're playing under, playing safe, trying to kite the point. Really difficult to play against HML with this triple medium stack.
Hashi going aggressively towards Uni right now as Brendy and Onyx just sit tight and wait for this team to do anything. They did give away their position. Hashi generally acting as bait. That RPG though, oppressive. They do need an APS. I'm not sure if they're rocking one right now. But without a dome, they need some defensive protection.
They get the fib off, trying to get another res. See how they're able to kite away and reset. All of Pink up.
Brendy getting the res back up with Onyx together, but getting a great pick on Anderson. That's their defense down. Onyx gonna just rotate to stall point and wait for this point on Hashi. Little do they know. They don't know.
Pink should be able to get this point.
Uni trying to find Graves and narrowly misses her. Graves playing a stealth game. Misses the DMAT timing, unfortunately, but does commit. And now Graves is going to be pushed aggressively here. What a unfortunate circumstance. Graves does look like she's going to get away. Will Anderstown chase her? And yet, yes, he gets that pick. It's not looking good for Orange here. That triple medium is not looking good. You definitely need APS. He's going to just hit that res as Cafaneo gets some crazy shots off on that. And Pink team takes a 2-0 victory against the triple medium.
Yeah, I commend the triple medium stack. Triple DMAT, serve.
APS.
All right, they did need a wider range of utility. That would have helped against a lot of the glitches being thrown out.
A lot of the times, I just saw them getting RPG'd for free whenever they engaged. There was a couple times when Anderstown did miss that RPG and you saw some sort of fight back from them, but whenever that RPG was hit, the fight was just wraps. But going into this next match here, this is going to be a wild one on Bernal. Luckily for them, again, we aren't playing suspended structures, so this map is a little bit more heavily focused on these rooftop fights. There are opportunities to play in these buildings and play close range. You can force it, which is the reason why I like this map. But for me this season, it's one of the worst minigun maps, and as a minigun main right now, it's just very frustrating. But fortunate for them, Anderstown on the Shack, Cafaneo on the MP5, and Brendy on the Cerberus.
HML team matchups, just like I said. I called it out, right?
You did call it out.
Hello.
And we're going to be going into this first match here. We got to make sure to toggle those outlines. They added a lot of new stuff in the spectator mode, which I'm very excited about to play around with in future events, whether that be tournaments and or more Thursday Night Throwdowns.
Pink team on Church right there. Orange having a commanding position on point. Pink having to rotate quite the distance. Like you said, this map out plays similarly to Monaco, but it's a lot lower sitting. The buildings are a lot shorter, so close range fights and rooftop.
Orange team gonna opt to gateway this directly to B, as they do have the positional advantage to push them away, but Sergal and Madao gets to push aggressively with this jump pad. Gonna be looking for an RPG here. Padding up and over, but nobody is there in sight. Cafaneo does drop down.
Thermal vision active.
Looking for an RPG, Mad down. Doesn't really get one. Looking like they're gonna plug. Orange pushes aggressive, lots of damage on Mad down.
Gets taken out swiftly, dropping this cash box down. They're gonna go peel for Cafaneo, trying to get out Uni, but they need to be stealing this point instead. They need to split their resources and not chase that dash light away, because he's not
very strong push on that Orange team. They came in together holding hands and just made Man Down explode right there.
Uni just gonna vie for his time, look for this coin in as his teammates do going in. They're going to have a good opportunity to set up a great offensive here.
Plenty of time.
The unfortunate part is that they do not have control of that cash out anymore.
This is one of the more hard cash outs to take, in my opinion, because of it, the rooftop here on this billboard. Well, we'll see how this team tackles this.
Huge RPG, but they TP away. I'm not sure if they did take that damage or not. They did avoid that damage on that roof fight, and now Uni trying to get some back shots, but great shielding from Andrewstown, denying all that damage. External gets taken down. Brendy getting some great damage on Mendao at
2v1
now.
Pink.
And it's going to be a 2v1. Andrewstown needs to get this kill right here, right now, to secure this.
And he does. Light versus heavy. Two opposite sides of the spectrum.
That APS making some clean work. He just RPG'd himself.
Pink able to secure that APS came so clutch. He was looking for that RPG and did not shoot it. Yes, just because of that APS.
That APS
might have just saved them.
So much space.
Exactly. Amazing plays by Pink.
Huge, unfortunate situation for Andrewstown. He probably would have had that in the bag if he just held an angle inside, held a corner.
Really liking how these teams are playing with these TPs, just kiting away, taking TP, trying to get that re-engaged. Both these teams knowing really well how to kite and use that TP advantage.
Yeah, exactly. That Orange team had a great TP away from that RPG, saving their skin, taking 0 damage. But unfortunately, that APS coming in clutch.
Both these teams just fighting their butts off.
Sturgnall going to be looking for an jump pad RPG potentially with Mendao. Playing aggressive here as they back up. They got some good damage on Andrewstown. They don't have the heals to stop it. Mendao gets taken out by that Cerberus. Holy, that thing pumps out damage. And Uni winning that 2v1 with Sturgnall getting that revive on the side there. A 3v3 reset right here. Huge wipe in from Pink.
Man, that Cerberus
of the cash out.
That Cerberus is so stinky. That thing could just turn fights around in a blink of an eye. Just 2-tap a medium, 1-tap a light, 3-tap a heavy. That thing is just absolutely devastating sometimes.
Yeah, that thing did not need a buff. Right now, the range is so oppressive with that thing. It is definitely the strongest weapon in the game, in my opinion.
S tier for sure. I think there are only 2 S-tier weapons this season.
What do you think of this new cash out that Embark added? This thing is actually low-key kind of chalked.
It is interesting, right? It is interesting. You got to take a ladder or shoot it down or take a pad. You're forcing util just to get to a point.
Orange team playing. They're going to get a nice diagonal pad potentially here. But Uni also playing that high ground. They're going to jump on Uni off for that aggressive play. Huge shots from Brendy on Uni as he's dashing midair. And he's going to get the chase down on Sturgnall.
They do get the trade.
And it's a 3v1 scenario right now. Sturgnall just trying to run away. Stagger, 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 they're calling.
Huge. What an incredible pad play over there by Orange. Able to jump in, knock out Uni, right? That was
fantastic. The shots from Brendy, immaculate. But Pink team did, unfortunately, just give them the easy rotate in. They should have been a little bit more ready to stop them.
Exactly. They were not ready for the back shots.
Pink team rotate in. Gonna look for a dash pad gateway right into that first floor, pushing. Maybe catching Brendy off guard here. Brendy does rotate up. He probably makes the call out on Pink, rotating in. Mad completely split from his team, getting a good RPG on Cafaneo.
They do shoot the point down. Pink having to be very aggressive.
Please, all they need to do is drop this. This thing is gonna be stalled for a while here. Anderstown gets a big RPG, and Circle does get on it in time, but it does get dematted away from his hands. And
all Orange had to do was play very patiently, stall that point with the D-mats, and they did that just exactly well. Well done by Orange. Back and forth, man. Back and forth this fight right now. Very good fights here.
And now we're going to be able to see Pink Team probably going to be going to that D point, but that thing is scary. This situation, this defense on D is very tough. Where do you play in this situation with their
And D, man, I would say in this building, in that yellow building, pad over, but right now they don't have that positional advantage. They're going to have to play closer to point, see what they do.
Anderstown gets Uni, catches him a little bit off guard, but doesn't get any damage, just scaring him away from his position. But he does try and reach out, getting poke, as Uni does. Annoy.
Pad play comes out, Bubbles jumps down, glitches come out, lots of damage, both teams, 2v1 on Orange. Caffeinail, 1v1 light.
Dies to the burn damage, though.
Burn damage with the serve. Wow, stinky little serve.
Yeah.
That thing is smelly. Well played by Orange or Pink. This is one of the probably the most awkward point to hold, in my opinion, in the game. It typically is really like the last point too. I never really see this point like as like the first one of the first points. It's usually the last point of the game.
Here comes Orange looking for a diagonal pad, gonna push aggressively here potentially, but they decide not to go through with that plan as they have such a back foot position on Pink. My question is, where is Uni?
Uni looking for a flank on yellow.
Looking for a big flank here, big rotate away. He's not with his team. Orange team does need to go in right now. Caffeinail waiting for Uni to push in and gets that
Uni
hit on Uni. Huge work done. And now they're in a 2v2 situation. Brendy gets taken out.
2v1.
Last one up. And all they do need to do is take this point, and they have the game.
Looking like Orange just might get this. Take it away.
And that's gonna be the game. Orange team does take this victory. That play, the adaptation from Caffeinail, knowing well that Uni is going to come in for that wide flank, waiting for Uni to engage on his team first, and just gets that clean pick. So clinical adaptation.
That pick on Uni was the game changer right there.
Thanks for watching.
Take him out quick, and they were able to capitalize on it at the end.
Exactly. And we can check out the stat line really quickly.
I know both of these teams were battling.
Yeah.
This was a very good fight. This was a match.
Look at this. Brendy really popping off on that Cerberus, carrying his team to victory, as we see Uni on it, the opposite team being the fragger of the team. But yet again, everyone had their impact here. Anderstown has some great shields. Mad has some great dome fights against him, great RPGs. But unfortunately, Orange team did just sneak it out of the bag. But right when they respawn, this match is going to start breaking out.
Looking like B is on the hospital side. Very difficult point to push. A commanding in hotel center. I think B might be the optimal play for whoever gets this point first.
These spawns are a little bit weird, but I mean, Orange would have gotten there first anyway. We do see Sloth on that light, gonna be able to get some sort of an aggressive angle, potentially, unless he's gonna safely rotate back to his team here.
Another HML comp lineup here on both teams.
Getting some clean damage from Sirius on that light, coming all the way from Australia to play in this pug here.
Aussie boy, huh?
They get the clean TP all the way over to B. We're gonna have to see Pink team take this rotation over, as Viper is gonna sit on this U and potentially get some shots on them.
Looking for the back shots. Viper getting absolutely lit up.
But
he is one bar.
And Viper gets taken for a ride there. His plan definitely
very interesting.
Backfired. Malcolm sitting on this corner here. Gonna potentially use his team as bait and just come down behind. As he chases this heavy, Jake Conus making a return, but he does not like to see the sledgehammer right in his face. Play on the shack. A very awkward stairs fight.
Jake Conus taking a lot of damage.
But that Cerberus, Dicron gets some great peel and takes out Sloth in 2 shots. Viper's gonna be going for this resurrection. I'm getting some great damage on Dicron. Getting
Cerberus.
a great pick. Dicron just 1 HP left. Just the last one. Sirius is taken out. Nowhere to be seen. Catches him off guard, hits him with that sledge. Which melee and an emote on top of that. With a teabag.
Love to
oh my
see
gosh,
it.
he is
Love to
on top
see
of
it. Friendly
Malcolm
banter.
Hitting the emotes. We're gonna have to see this pink team jump across this point. Their only opportunity, if they get a good spawn here, is to jump DMAT and just hope through this wall. There's almost no time for a TP here. You're gonna have to hit that pad into that DMAT, but no, they don't go for it. You have to just double DMAT right through the wall for any chance. Now there's basically no chance.
They're just gonna take the fight, knock him out, and then rotate to the next point.
I mean, this may not mean much for the objective, but this could be something big for their egos here. They do want to take out Meowfum for that emote play here. Meowfum's just gonna sit tight.
Looking for a winch, doesn't get it.
And Jake Gunn is gonna be chasing him. They want this kill badly. Meowfum gonna emo on him yet again with the howl.
Man, that Cerberus is so stinky. I keep saying it time and time again. That thing is just absolutely devastating, and especially against a sledge heavy right there, right? Like, you would think a sledge would beat a medium, but the Cerberus is just absolutely devastating.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that thing to be nerfed.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
They're going to be setting up a gateway on this. Going to be able to rotate this rather easily if they don't get pushed. But Orange Team on that Haltos building, playing for height, going to be denying. They do have default first here, so they are able to just sit in that position and wait for this pink team to push them.
Looking like Team trying to set up a rotate, and Orange holding on Holto height. See where they go.
Orange Team is going to be so content to just sit here and wait. Sirius getting that zip line over to see the high-rise Haltos building. Going to be going straight into that building. Going to be putting some pressure on this rotation. Orange Team going to have to catch them.
Orange should have been looking for an RPG.
Big winch on Jay Conus, taking out Dicron, looking for some good peel. Meow.
Emoting again!
Huge picks on the medium and heavy. Knows exactly how to use that sledge hitbox to hit through walls. Getting that clean plug. And Pink's just gonna have to wait. Sirius is just gonna sit there and wait.
Meowfum here to make a statement with these emotes. He wants you to know he's in your match and he's here to play.
Meowfum doesn't play that often, but I do see him play a lot more. So he is one of the players in the running for best sledge. We definitely know of Llama, but Llama better take notes on this Meowfum play.
Meowfum, man, one of the players of all time.
Adding up.
Pink coming in with a DMAT. Lots of damage coming out. Lots of damage. They get a res off though.
This is such an awkward building to just jump up. That DMAT play right on top of Meowfum here.
Viper just exploding in the mix.
Point. He's gonna get a hit through the wall here. He's gonna force the drop. No hits. They drop with that Cerberus right on top of him. Sloth gets that pick as Meowfum.
Meow going crazy.
Jumps on Conus. He's just hitting the emotes.
Hey, I do not blame him. This is his game to take. Crazy plays by Meow. Able to kite the point, drop it down multiple times, take out the heavy, take out the medium quickly to secure
I just cannot
both
believe
cash
his
outs.
ability and his awareness to hit through the walls with this sledgehammer.
Absolutely. That's a nice skin too, that wood thing. That's a nice little pack.
Stay here and see if they even
Now
go for this
exploding,
deal,
but it's not gonna matter.
Wow. That sledge putting in work. We saw it yesterday on Pro Hubs, and we see it today with Meowfall.
Incredible sledge plays. That was super fun to watch. 7-4 by a sledgy boy.
All right, so we're going to this match. We're going to be seeing medium, light for this matchup. As we just discussed, they are lacking a heavy player. But on the other end, it's probably going to be HML. Yeah, Dirt playing heavy. Andrewstown on medium, which is a little bit surprising. I'm not sure what his second best class is. I would have loved to see a little bit of a double heavy here, just out of a personal selfish desires. But the Uni's team does get the better spawn here. They're going to get a pretty quick tap as we look for this orange team rotating quite far onto one here. They're just going to vie for position, but B is such an easy rotate for Pink. It's almost going to be so free. They don't set up a gateway, however. As Pink team gets control of this, Wally, Calcifer, and Spoos jump pad up, throwing those flashes, trying to get any sort of visual advantage. Dirt just camping in the back. He's playing the light position right now. He is playing flank heavy as Spoos does end up finding him with that surge. Integrity, Calcifer getting some great damage on him, takes out Dirt. That flank heavy playstyle is not it, bro. You need to take out light out in that position. Uni also opting to get that trade on Calcifer as it is a 2v1 on Spoos.
No, it's two trades and they get the trade retake. 2v1 now, orange. Pink looking to reset, try to retake their point if orange end up taking.
Orange looks like they're going to be going for the steal, which probably is the right play. I don't think Derp definitely does not have a C4 there. He was never even over there to begin with. Both teams just going to wait for their coins. Pink team does have the slight advantage here. They did coin faster, but orange team does have that cash out. Orange team does regroup rather quickly, though. Uni going to be taking an aggressive off angle. This off angle that Calcifer has is going to be great. Getting it right behind them. Chasing Uni in a 1v1 here.
Trades on both teams. Pink gets a reset, but they do get a re-kill on Pink.
It looks like Pink is going to get this advantage here, but Wally's going to be going for that fib. Maybe?
Does not get the fib. He's gonna have to play stall.
He accidentally throws a goo on his teammate.
Pink will get this first point. Well played by Pink. Uni just going crazy on the light. 3 kills, 2,000 damage. He has double the damage as everyone in the lobby at the moment.
As B just finishes up, we're going to see Pink here vying for this position, looking to just wait and see where 2 ends up. Both going different ways. Dirt taking the high line. Gets caught off guard, gets flashed, but I think Spoos can't flash himself, unless that's his teammate with flashes. Dirt getting utterly destroyed here. Andrewstown does get a pick, though, because Spoos got caught a little bit off guard. Uni rotating back up, trying to find an off angle right behind Wally as Anderson gets chased away. Getting that right.
Blitz grenade out.
Orange does have a man down. They're heavy. That is detrimental to Orange. Pink having quite the advantage at the moment. Looking like they will get the tap. Actually, never mind. Going to take this last kill on the medium. And Pink does come out on top. They will get the tap. Orange having a good spot still because the tap is still not in play. The points are rather far. They will be able to contest, and it's looking like it might take another fight before it gets plugged.
I do think they have gateway, but it might not be enough. They're definitely going to be able to get the plug right as they spawn in and fight.
Yeah, they do have a TP on point.
The Boundless are back in play.
Orange does spawn in, and Pink will get the plug.
The live wires swooped up a cash box.
Orange coming in from mid.
Live wires fire up a cash out.
Trying to get the height advantage.
This fight breaking out on all fronts. Orange team just caught in the middle, getting split and divided.
Orange taking so much damage at the beginning of the fight. It is not good for Orange. 2v3 now. Orange just having one player left. Wally. See how Wally plays this out. Looking like he wants to kite for the coins. That is the optimal play.
And as we see here, we get to see how important having that heavy is on your team. Even though the countless nerfs have been done to heavy, it is still an essential role.
The heavy is just so good at stalling cash outs. So good at creating space with bubbles. Heavy is just the mule of the team.
Wally is getting
Sometimes.
caught off guard here. He is just running for his life, not trying to throw for his team here.
They do get the
Wally-
reset though. This team
Wally
is coming
about to
in.
get the reset. He's gonna goo this off and try and demon it down after activating the C4. Integrity, Calcifer meeting up with his team here.
Orange trying everything they can to take this point. They don't have much time. They have to be really quick on taking, but they do lose a player. They lose two, and it's looking like Pink will come out on top.
Getting a good trade, but unfortunately Calcifer at 1 HP. Gonna be pushing aggressively here. He's gonna have to go make a miracle happen as Derp tries to kill himself and give the game.
Pink does win 2v0.
Yeah, 2-0 for Pink team. What a match. I mean, that's just what happens when you don't have a heavy on your team. It's just, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, heavy is just so essential at, like I said, being able to stall the cash out, create lots of space, lots of aggression, RPG plays. Yeah, heavy is just, it's there. You know, it's gonna be there for the remainder of the game, in my opinion. I don't ever see heavy not being in the mix in the meta. It's so good.
Look, I mean, I'm not gonna say that this is definitely a tough matchup for Team 1 here. Very serious Digcon and Sloth. Like, the one thing that they do have on their side is if Meowfum is on that heavy, they do have to deal with a sledgehammer. However, they're gonna be matching their freak here. Sirius playing that winch sledge himself, gonna be going head to head. So honestly, this could be a great game.
Absolutely. We'll see how very serious matches up. The sledge gameplay. Band for band with the sledges, huh?
This is gonna be interesting because this is all about, I'm not sure how the sledge actually works when you do get winched, but knowing the delay that you do get after getting winched, I think whoever hits that winch first is going to win that fight.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious if Sirius... I'm just curious if Sirius has the expertise to fight Meowfum in this sledge matchup. Like, knows
I think I might push back on the winch thing, though, because you could winch back after you get winched.
You could cancel it. Yeah, this is definitely a goofy matchup Everyone running for their lives because you know there's a sledge behind your ass. We got Lasagna on the light here. Brendy and Meowfum playing together. Brendy nicking that RPG, just barely taking a scrape as he gets pushed by Dicron on light. This pink team's gonna be very split here. Brendy needs to regroup with Meowfum quickly.
Lasagna looking for the back shots with that 93R. 93R is such a good weapon. I think that's another one that's slept on, to be honest.
Its damage up close is very competitive. It does have a decent amount of fall off for the light weapons, but regardless, it definitely holds a candle to other range weapons like the FAMAS.
Absolutely.
Oh, here we go. The sledge matchup. They're keeping away, isolating themselves in this fight. As Sirius does come out on top in that sledge fight, that TP being pivotal into his success here.
Contestants out there today. Love it.
Orange able to come up top. Yep. Well played by Orange.
Winning that sledge matchup, utilizing that TP to avoid a few hits there, gets an advantage. I don't know if he right-clicked through that portal. If that's how he won it. He's gonna be looking for some Pyro Mines, Satan. What do you think?
Pyro Mines. I'm liking it. You know I like the fire. You know that. I like some fire.
And now we get to see Pink Team rotate back in. Lasagna gonna be taking this high ground, TPing his team in. They're gonna be applying a weird angle here. Gonna be looking for some information as Meowfum just sledges everything open. They don't need a DMAT, they need a sledge. Brendy finding the team, getting some poke damage, wasting that dome. Huge dome comes out from Sirius way too early, in my opinion. That could be the difference maker in this fight. If Meowfum does end up dropping a dome right now, he can win this for his team, but he does not get that dome out.
Ban for ban with the sledges. Cerberus knocking out the heavy. And they do come out on top. Pink retakes. Orange might have another opportunity here to take, though. Retake as they reset for this next fight.
Brendy's holding that res.
Sirius actually going ban for ban with the sledge. You love to see it.
I mean, he's doing great work. I mean, he's playing with his team. He's letting his team work for him.
Exactly.
They're going to TP on top. They're going to have to just jump on this almost. There's barely any time to look for any advantage here. They're going to
pad just in, hiding,
look
being
for
a little
anything, and they're just going to jump right on this point. There's plenty of Fire Mines to deny this thing. They do get the glitch out.
Meowfum taking out Sirius.
Brendy just sitting.
And it's not enough as Pink able to stall the rest of this catch out. It is not going to matter. And Pink comes out on top on his first catch out. I do like seeing the sledge v sledge matchup. It's just going crazy over here.
They're going to rotate towards 2 as Pink Team just spawns in here. We're going to see Digquan playing so aggressively here, sitting in Viz, knowing exactly where they're going to spawn, playing this to his advantage. He's going to come in right behind them. Great patience from Digquan. Good trigger finger.
Pink having height. Meowfum dropping in. Glitches come out. No contact. Winches the point. Glitch on Orange.
Huge winch from Meowfum. Gets the pick, gets a great RPG there, and Sirius
it's a 1v1.
Takes down everybody. It's Brendy with the Cerberus versus the sledge.
Stinky little serve, I'm telling you, man.
Serve coming out on top.
That thing is crazy.
But look how much damage Brendy took. I think that he got a clean right click on that before he could even escape.
Still not enough against this Cerberus, man.
Yeah.
Cerberus is so commanding in the close range. Able to take out even a sledge.
Electrifying stuff. The live wires
That's a great winch, a great setup. Hopefully they look to play height here. I'm not sure what this
Height is the optimal play.
They're a little bit
like they're not going to drop it.
ratting. Dickron are going to maybe get some shots off on Brendy, get some chip damage. That's going to hurt. Dickron 1 HP, but narrowly escapes. Lasagna going to be pushing for an off angle here.
They get the reset though. Orange able to get the reset. See how they play here. Brenny holding height, commanding. Lasagna holding height on the metal here. Point drops. Orange being very aggressive on point. Winches the point. Looking like they're gonna bait the point. Potentially right here.
Malcolm ready to open up this top. Falls down himself by accident, I think. Takes some big damage for that, and now gets put into a 2v1 against Sirius and Sloth. Brendy's going to be looking for some great red barrel damage. Hits the mine on Sirius, and now Sirius is only one pump away from dying. Gets that red heals off. As Lasagna's going to be looking for some chip damage. Needs to escape, get away so his team can coin in here, because there's nothing that he can do to stop this. But he does. He does. He makes me eat my own words. And Lasagna is going to be taking some great shots. He needs to go in aggressively here and stop this. As Lasagna does. He's pushing in aggressively here versus Sloth. Sloth does win.
Sloth gets it. They get the coin off though.
And does he not have his... it's over because Sloth does not have... Oh!
Sloth comes out on top. Going for the steal. Medium coins.
No way.
Brendy coming in. Oh, he gets the flip.
Brendy gets on it. Does he have time? It's going to be down to the second.
He does have time. He does have time.
I don't
Pink
know.
will get this. Pink will get this. They got it. Incredible coins by Pink at the end.
Holy, that final point.
Yeah, I commend Orange for trying there. That was a rather difficult, time to do for Sloth at the end. Lasagna just devastating the team, able to take out the heavy, able to take out the light, leaving Sloth by himself, a low HP, and they were able to come out on top.
What a last point there. Holy. Well played from both teams.
Hey, these damage numbers, man, it doesn't, 2 points versus 0.
Yeah.
But
Lasagna clutching up for his team there. I don't know how he got those angles. That TP was amazing.
93R just going crazy at the end. Oh, yeah.
Andrewstown rocking the SA-12.
Serby boy.
And
another stinky serve.
Well, I think that ARN might fit perfectly just right into this meta with
for the range option.
Cerberus and SA-12 kind of rounding out the base,
Absolutely.
Getting that close range depression.
I love seeing people adapt to the ARN. I think when they buffed the ARN to 17 damage, I believe, I was just like, yo, that's a lot of damage.
It definitely doesn't beat the MP5 up close because it has a slower fire rate, but that range drop-off is really where that damage comes.
If you are at range, it does beat the MP5.
Yes, exactly.
Quite commandingly as well.
And we're going to have Orange set up on this rooftop, blow open that. We do have Rosen on dash bow. Let's see if he can make this thing work in this pug environment. It's going to be tough. I'm not sure if the
RPG coming out.
Here.
Not much damage with that RPG.
On medium. Wally jumping straight in, getting huge damage
Stinky
on.
serve coming out. Gets the kill on Calcifer.
Derp fighting a 1v1 versus Uni right now. Rosen getting chased down by Wally and Andrewstown, and Derp just being the last alive, gonna get swarmed here.
I commend the bow usage right here.
And now we get to see Wally, Andrewstown, and Uni get to plug B and hold this first cash out. Set up defensively on this one.
The Boundless are quick off the mark. First cash out started.
Orange able to get the first cash out and able to set up on height. Uni looking like he's playing red in the mid right there. with that ARN, looking for poke damage, looking for bag shots.
Uni's gonna just sit on this point and rotate.
Wow, Wiley and
shots.
Anderstown just play together, closer to the point. Very optimal play style right here.
They got a pad RPG set up. I think Derp's gonna be padding right on their butts here. Oh, Wally, notice of this. And Anderstown's gonna
Off 3.
Let's get glitched. Caught up. A little bit behind. Not have a dome for this fight. Glitch comes in. That dome gets dropped. Anderstown. They get damp. Right on.
Come in.
Andy. Go. Just keeps running. They're not gonna have any time here to take this point.
So you were kind of lagging most of that point right there. Yeah. You're kind of lagging your voice, but it's all good. You're back. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
We are so back. Orange able to take the rest of this point. Looking like it's going to be smooth sailing for the rest of this point.
Uni taking a 1v3 assault here. His team's going to come back in potentially and save him. Wally jumping up. Now he's taking a 1v3 scenario. This team's just getting pulled apart like string cheese.
I do like me some cheese.
Wally should be winning this with that serve, but Derp tipping him on with that S0E1. Anderstown pushing aggressively on Derp, looking for that pick as he does get dropped down to that lower level. He doesn't.
It is a 2v1 at the moment.
Goes for the res. Oh, he sees him. He sees his weapon. And Derp accepts his fate.
Uni did diff Calcifer on the ARN at the side. I wasn't caught on camera, but Uni just absolutely devastating Calcifer with that ARN battle.
Adding the Volt away. I think they're trolling their teammate Uni here for a little bit.
Pink having to come up with a game plan to take this team and make the ball rolling. Get the ball going.
Now on the other side of the map, oh, Pink team's gonna have to rotate quite far for this point here.
Oh, I said Calcifer. Actually, Rosen is the one on light. My bad.
Uni taking some incredible damage. Will they capitalize on this kill? And yes, they do. Getting that kill on Uni is going to be devastating for Orange Team's defense.
Going thermal.
They're just going to go in aggressively looking for this flip. Rosen shooting that C4 down. Where's his team to back him up? They're going to be going for this fight here. Wally coming in right behind with that Cerberus, missing a couple shots. He only has one bullet, but gets taken out himself.
Pink will come out on top. Rosen able to get a kill with that bow. Has been struggling against the ARN, but this time around able to shake things up.
We get Orange Team spawning over by the Alpha Acta building, rotating over. Are they going to be using that big pad? They're going to be using a gateway to go metal. Top metal with this TP.
That is a commanding position.
Push in from top down. Anderstown floating alone, floating away from his team. Wally just not following him, a little bit lagging behind here.
Orange have to be really quick with this point. They don't have much time left. Lots of damage coming out on both teams. Anderstown one shot at the moment. Trying to get the
sticking
flip.
that point. Someone needs to hop it with that mesh shield up.
And that
they
will
get it
be
in
the
time.
game. Oh, no. Yeah.
I think they do
That
get
will
in
be the
time
game.
here.
They do.
Huge win from
GG.
Wally, Anderson, and Uni. What a last second steal twice, 2 games in a row.
Victorious. Thanks again to our sponsors and to our viewers at home.
And I think we're gonna be going into our last, potentially our last match here.
All of these matches have been absolutely incredible. Sledgehammer plays. We just saw Bo in the mix. Very fun matchups. It's looking like Viper will be the heavy.
Viper's hitting the heavy for the final pug here. He wants to show off what we were just talking about, that SA12. Double medium heavy. We are just completely wrong, as we do see Calcifer
HML
on that heavy. Will he be pulling out the spear though?
Here we go.
Most likely.
Yes,
that is
he
his
is.
spear.
Let's go.
That is the spear drip.
Time to ignite the action.
Let's go.
We're gonna be hitting them with that heavy.
Another
It's
Fortune
dark out,
Stadium
reduced visibility.
match right here.
Time for our contestants.
Great way to end
It's
on
a
this
rare
map.
sight, a perfectly intact
Both
arena.
teams
these
gonna
players.
be pretty close to the spawn. We don't have a hospital point though. Orange team is going to have the disadvantage on this situation in terms of the tap. However, they do have the positional advantage to hold A and B.
Absolutely. Hoto is such a good point to hold most of the map.
That Vortex trying to stop that goo pad. They're just gonna wait for it to go, and then they're gonna probably jump right on top of their heads here. Both teams wanting to jump, but that spear not doing enough damage, not having the range to do it enough. But Uni trying to get as much damage as possible here as Wally chases him down through this. Huge
That was
goo
such a
from
good
him.
goo. That
What
was
a
great.
goo. Look at that.
That came out quick as well.
Are forcing open Vault 1.
And Uni gets away. That goo really being clawed.
He's a ninja.
You can see Orange team up on the high ground. Wally a little bit staggered from his team. As you know, they're going to spawn this hospital. Viper already looking down at that. All he has, though, is an SA-12. They need to be rotating towards point. They know Uni is probably still over here. Wally getting taken out, chewed alive as Arok, Calcifer pushed over aggressively. He's going to hit the spear right click, but he does not have the range. He needs to go for that winch before he's even ready to do that. And then moving on to the next point. Uni gonna try and stop this plug. Andrewstown might melee throw this point away, but doesn't get the melee off. And this is gonna stay within the bounds of NG mode. Getting some great damage. Huge 1v1. Andrewstown getting winched by Calcifer in this fight. Getting away somehow. Integrity, I guess, just opting for that
The live wires grab the
res.
cast box.
Point's still not plugged. It's been a decent amount of time. Couple fights actually.
Wally with a great DMAT, getting some great damage
Enemy down.
on Viper. Integrity winching in and just gets taken out by that Cerberus. That Cerberus such a strong weapon. Uni 1 HP yet again, narrowly makes it out. But is he gonna force his team to coin, or is he just gonna jump off the entire map at this point? They're gonna be down to 1 coin apiece if they do actually force a coin. This could be very bad, and he jumps off the map.
First out of the gate. They've kicked
Optimal
off the
play.
first cash out.
They don't want to force the coins on his first match. His first plug. They're gonna have to take this replug, refight. Try to take that point.
Just setting up, gonna be breaking the zips, breaking any way up. We know they're probably gonna spawn Halto building or this Isolt point. We're gonna sit tight and watch them spawn over in cafeteria and Isolt. They're gonna take a clean pad rotation, wasting their pad, not allowing Uni to gateway for them. That's gonna be a severe utility disadvantage. they're gonna have a tough time pushing up on this point and catching them by surprise. Calcifer not really worried though. He has a spear in hand. He's gonna be climbing up on the D-mat, getting a big RPG, but Eric is taken down swiftly. Same with Calcifer, but Uni able to get a pick off himself as the Vipers are looking for that slow res.
Calcifer struggling with the spear, not able to do as much DPS as a Cerberus. Just in your face, making you go boom. It's looking like Orange having a very strong position right here, quarter of the way through the first point.
And we get Pink Team spawning back in, same spot cafeteria, but there is no opportunity even in the slightest to win this point. It is GG's for this first vault and cash out.
Absolutely, that is a very strong position up there. Cash out gets padded.
They get on in time. They get on in time though, but he gets knocked.
The Serb
easily.
is doing so much damage.
The Boundless are playing for keeps. They've snagged the match's first cash out.
They are truly.
Well, I mean, Integrity's gonna be taking this 1v1. He's gonna go for the spear and he gets Wally taken out.
Let's go.
By the spear. Sheesh.
Viper on the bottom by himself, half health. Rotating to Exalt. Waiting
I mean,
for those
he's going to get a
coins to come
great
out.
position for his team. I'm not sure what his timer is for his teammates, but they're going to be able to spawn right on this cash out.
Wally will have one coin. If he
Wally at 1 coin. Not looking that good, but it could be the last point of the game. So this is definitely an okay position to be in. Coins definitely aren't that useful, but they can be clutch if you do not have them. It could be devastating.
Absolutely. We'll see how this plays out. Hospital point on C. Looks like they will take A instead.
Wally getting speared, but Calcifer getting left behind by his team.
Pink not in the best shape. Looking like they might want to either res or wait for another coin.
They drop the point to Orange, or at least give it up somehow. Let's see how Orange demats this building to get this plug. Arok calling it out and gonna get that almost pick
Wally
on
is
Wally
one
with
shot.
that revolver. He's gonna go all in on Wally potentially, but no, he narrowly escapes getting peeled from his team.
Integrity coming in from spawn. Resets the fight.
Dematerializing.
Orange team riding in the bottom right corner. They're going to be able to jump pad DMAT in this building, and that's likely their play to get this high ground. You can see them as Pink team DMATs the point down. We're going to see Orange team drop in from above, doing everything up, giving them no angle to push this. Huge RPG though with the
They get the
Calcifer
flip.
on the right click. That Vortex pulling him away. Pink team does get that steal and gets
Everybody
the flip.
is alive. They're trying to get the
Orange team looking for
reflip.
that retake. That goo kind of working in their disadvantage with that right click, hitting both of them, chunking them for one hit. And they get to take out their heavy. It's just Andrewstown and Wally
In the gas, in the smoke, making things very difficult
getting
to see.
speared. Wally at 2 bars gets taken out. They're gonna have to flip this right back.
Spear actually quite good in that smoke, just swinging that thing in every direction, hoping things connect, and they do in that instance right there.
I think all this goo is working to Spear's advantage because it clumps
Absolutely.
everyone together on this point. Like, Calcifer was able to just drop down on the stairs, get a clean multi-hit on that heavy and medium, chunking that damage for both of them. But now, but it just struggles way too much in every other situation. It took way too long to set this point up. Calcifer hitting this orange box, not sure why. We have Viper pushing in aggressively here. But unfortunately, there's no time. Viper is pushing for some ego.
Calcifer just exploding against the SA-12.
Aaron getting shielded by Viper. As Uni takes clean.
Wow. I was thinking Orange was going to win that fight. Airrock just going crazy with the cowboy, right? With the revolver. Oh, man.
Yeah, that revolver is fantastic if you hit your shots, but it is extremely punishing. You don't. Headshots are definitely a must as well. And we're going to see Orange team likely spawning at Ngmo. They're trying to block off this path, so it takes them a little bit of extra time to rotate towards them. If they're smart, they just go mid, or they just hit the zip.
They're going to take the TP.
There's no doubt that the live wires
Anderstown by himself with the
Huge
TP.
smoke nade. I'm not sure why Viper's running smokes on heavy, but we'll take it. I think that is a troll move, but look, I mean, you can't control everything in Pugs.
Absolutely, and that's the nature of Pugs, right? You never know what you're going to see. Players just playing with each other for the first time, potentially. Having to adapt with each other and their play styles.
Let's see the second unfold.
You can feel the momentum shifting.
These are all veteran players, though. They are all coming to show up.
Going for that steal, Anderstown hitting it. Viper getting that pick off on Calcifer there.
Absolutely.
And now gets picked off from that hole. That hole gets blocked up though, blocking Uni off from stopping the res as Wally DMAS through the wall, getting that Cerberus damage straight off on Uni, getting that pick. And now it's just a 1v1 right now versus Aroc. Aroc getting that pick on Anderstown and rotating down for that fib as he gets RPG'd and taken down by Viper. Farming Uni.
That is devastating to Pink. They're not going to have much time.
Viper hitting him with the disrespect. With the meows and smoke right on Uni's body.
Pink will not have much time for this point. All Orange has to do is play slow, kite the point, stall as much as possible, and they should clutch the rest of this game.
Well, we get to see Pink's on down in the Haltos, right in the middle, rotating in. They're going to be taking big pad, I suppose.
Looking like they're trying to pad the point off the map to stall it for a very long time.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic setup they had there.
That was incredible. Padding Aroc off the map.
And that's the game.
Well played by Orange.
Their strategy and speed proved
Well played.
on behalf of all of us here at the finals. Thanks for watching.
Well played from everyone here. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in for the first Thursday night throwdown. It's been fantastic. Satan, thank you for joining us.
Hey, that was fun.
Fantastic. I think we're going to hit you with a quick commercial. Not sure what we have cooking up, but we can take a look. And thank you for tuning in. It's been fantastic. Much love, everybody.
Hugs and kisses.
See you next week, everybody, on Thursday Night Throwdown.
This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to 8 Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on 8 Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/8squador.